We got Summer Game Fest starting off. We've got GTA subscriptions, and we've got an end of an era. Let's talk. What up, viewers? What up, what up? Calc Soups here, and today is Friday, May 22nd, and that means it's time for a quick recap of the week in video game news. Like I said, this is potentially starting off Summer Game Fest, but here's the first big kind of showcase of the summer season. It's the Warhammer Skulls Showcase. This is the annual kind of showing off of all of the Warhammer games that are coming up, or any of that, or getting updates, or any of that kind of stuff. So lots of fun stuff to dig in with that. The first one that caught my eye was they have Warhammer has an XCOM like, where you have your guys running around, very turn-based strategy, called Chaos Gate. I guess that's the name of the subdivision because they're making a sequel to it. The first one was Chaos Gate's Demon Hunters, and this next one is Chaos Gate Death Watch. So should be pretty cool and interesting. I was very interested in the Demon Hunters, being a Demon Hunters player myself, but we'll get a new one that we can play sometime soon. I'm curious how it will improve. We also got Mechanicus getting a sequel as well. That's the one where you play as Necrons. Again, another very turn-based one. I haven't touched that one, but am very interested. We got the sequel to Owlcat's Warhammer 40k computer RPG. This one's called Dark Heresy. We got a little bit more information on that. We have a sequel to Bolt Gun. We have the fourth sequel in the Dawn of War series, and a release date, releasing on September 17th. Plus, they kind of mapped out like the first several months of content launches. So very exciting for Dawn of War 4, Bolt Gun, and all the other kind of Warhammer 40k stuff out there. That's also not even all the stuff that they talked about. So pretty exciting stuff for all of you Games Workshop fans out there. What's this about a GTA subscription I hear? Based on what was mentioned in the Take-Two earnings call this week, people are starting to speculate on whether or not GTA 6 will have a subscription service. Would be pretty interesting and unique. I know a lot of us have been joking about GTA coming out at like $100 box price, just to kind of, because we know it's going to be the greatest game of all time, and it already looks amazing. So yeah, it could be pretty interesting. But a subscription, I think, would drastically decrease their the beginning revenue. As I mean, I assume the campaign's going to take forever to play, but if I only play it for a month or two and play a subscription service, is that going to be the same as a potentially $70 or $80 full print game? I can imagine GTA Online having like a subscription service, the multiplayer portion of it. But as far as like a GTA 6 not having a box price and having a subscription service seems a little far-fetched to me, but that's what people are kind of speculating based on what came out of the Take-Two earnings call this week. So could be pretty interesting if they choose to do a different model. In just a few short days, we'll be able to play as James Bond in the upcoming IO Interactive 007 First Light. I'm very excited for this. I love IO and all the Hitman games, and so I am very excited for them to take a crack at James Bond, and the game looks very interesting and very unique, and something I'm quite interested in. We got the release trailer for it, so it's confirmed coming out next week on May 27th. And yeah, just a 1-minute short trailer. Shows off all the cool stuff you can do. Sets up the character of James Bond if you haven't, if you've been living under a rock and don't know who James Bond is. But yeah, should be very exciting to play as James Bond next week. So very much looking forward to that. Like I said, it is the end of an era. Bungie has announced that Destiny 2's final update will be coming in June. So yes, after nearly a decade with Destiny 2 and 12 to 13 years of Destiny as a whole, the final update in Destiny will be happening next month. So pour one out. It's been quite a long time. Even my hardest of core Destiny fans have been kind of off of it for quite some time, but still a sad day that Destiny 2 is finally ending. This also doesn't bode well for the employees, based on several articles I read this week, that there's probably going to be a large layoff associated with this, if there hasn't been already. There already was when PlayStation bought Bungie and let go of 2,000 people a couple of years ago. But Also, no confirmation of like a Destiny 3, so maybe they keep some people on to kind of staff up. I know that they're probably just supporting Marathon at this point, but yeah, hopefully they can build up a team to potentially release a Destiny 3. Although I'm curious what they would have to do to kind of change it enough or change the formula to kind of get people back into it. So I'm crossing my fingers, hoping there's a silver lining at a Destiny 3 that will come out sometime in the future, but still pretty sad. And like I said, an end of an era. No longer getting any Destiny 2 content or Destiny content as a whole. So pretty sad day when that got announced this week. Speaking of sad things, Hasbro has not officially, I believe I talked about it a couple weeks ago, that the MTG Arena people were trying to unionize. Hasbro still is not recognizing their union after a couple days or the week they were given to kind of recognize it officially before they had to start taking action. And also in the earnings call for with Hasbro, they kind of said, or the CEO kind of said that they might be shifting away. So that seems a little coincidental. I know that Arena has not been able to kind of take in Commander, the Commander format that is the most popular format to play Magic nowadays. But yeah, the fact that they can't get that up and running could lend itself to them shifting away, but it just seems a little poorly timed that right as the Arena team wants to unionize, they talk about kind of moving away from it. So pretty dire stuff there. I'm hoping that the MTG, I signed the petition for the MTG Arena team to unionize, so pretty exciting. I'm hoping that officially goes through and they don't like shift away too quickly. I had a fun exercise this week where I was trying to remember all of the top 10 most sold games of all times. I probably knew most of them, but just to kind of run you through the list, feel free to pause now if you want to like scratch them down, what you think they are. I completely missed number one, so I will not say my list was not perfect. But starting off at number 10 was Super Mario Bros. With 50 million units sold. That's the original game since, classic Nintendo game from back in the early 90s. So that sold 50 million units all in all. Witcher 3, game that I have my name in the credits of, is pretty exciting. The Wild Hunt sold 60 million units, and that's over the course of 11 years now since that when that was went on sale in 2015. Skyrim, like Todd Howard keeps saying, people keep making new versions because people keep buying it. That's also sold 60 million units. PUBG, the first battle royale game, sold 75 million, and now all the other ones do a live service game approach, but they were selling those for, I think this was it $40 at launch. I don't remember. I don't think it was a full like $60 game to buy, but that sold 75 million units. Mario Kart 8 and Deluxe have sold 80 million units, so Nintendo has 2 on the board and the number 5 slot as well with Wii Sports. I know that was contentious in the analytics community about like whether or not games that were sold in boxes with the Wii counted, but I guess they do now. So Wii Sports sold 83 million units. Red Dead Redemption 2 has sold 85 million units since it was released in 23. Gosh, I don't know. Time is an illusion. I don't quite remember when that one went on sale, but that's already sold 85 million units. I think they sold 10 million in the opening weekend, so unsurprising there. GTA 5, with a big gap here, has sold 230 million units. Everyone has played it except me, apparently. I've never played GTA 5, so there's still one more unit to sell if they want to find me and offer it to me for $1. Minecraft, which is what I thought was number one, has sold 300 million units. I think they've only ever been $5, so there's some quick math on how much money Minecraft has generated just in game sales alone. And the top of the list, a game that was not on my radar, was Tetris. Tetris has sold, according to their website, over 520 million units, or over 500 million units in all of its iterations. I know that Tetris has been around forever. So not surprising that it has sold as many units as it has, but it's also had several iterations and reincarnations and different remakes and remasters of it. So I definitely believe that number. So just a fun kind of recap of the biggest games, the most sold games of all time. It was just a fun thing for me to run through this week and scratch my head and see how many of those I could name off. So let me know how accurate your list was. Now that Summer Game Fest has officially started with Warhammer Skulls, let's see what the rest of the schedule has to hold for the official, opening night with Jeff Keighley. Starting on June 5th, we'll have just the Jeff Keighley showcase, which will probably take 2 hours and have a lot of talking heads per most of Jeff Keighley talking game awards announcements kind of stuff. The next day on June 6th, we'll have the Wholesome Direct, as well as the Future Game Show and the PC Game Show. So lots of stuff to enjoy on that day. I'm very, very excited for the Wholesome Direct. Always excited for more life sims and stuff like that. The Xbox Showcase is on June 7th. And then somewhere in those 3 days will also be a story-rich showcase. We still don't know how any details on Netflix Geek Week, or if they're even going to do that this year. I know that they had their own kind of stuff where Netflix wanted to be involved in all this kind of stuff. So no details on that. But that's the current schedule for Summer Game Fest. So let me know what showcase you are most excited for down below. Steam has finally taken a stance on what Vampire Survivor likes should be called. Most people have just been calling them Survivor likes, for all the for the genre that was built off of the back of Vampire Survivors and its main hit. Steam has officially named the genre Bullet Heaven. I think this was rattled off as one of the several potential names for the genre a while ago, so it's not like they came up with it first. But yeah, instead of calling them Survivor likes like we call Souls likes or Rogue likes, it will now just be referred to as Bullet Heaven. So if you're looking on Steam for Vampire Survivor likes, like the Warhammer 40k one that was discussed again this week, you're actually looking for Bullet Heaven. So look for those, and the kind of pun or twist on it is like bullet hells is when you get shot at stuff and you're trying to avoid kind of armies of things shooting at you. Bullet Heaven is the opposite of that, where you are the bullet shooter, the automated bullet shooter, and there's just hordes of stuff for you to mow down. So pretty exciting stuff for all of you Vampire Survivor fans. I'm always excited for a developer who's willing to kind of bend the genres that they play in. The Deep Rock Galactic team, Ghost Ship Games, have been mixing up. Each of their games has been more unique than the last one. They started off with Deep Rock Galactic, a most horde shooter where you have to go around and collect resources. I even have the board game version of that, so it is quite fun. Most recent one, they made a Survivors like, or a Bullet Heaven, called Deep Rock Galactic Survivors, which is again just a Vampire Survivors like. I got a little bit more detail on their roguelike. So they are doing a Deep Rock Galactic roguelike, and again, very, very much playing in a different genre. This is it's first person, just like Deep Rock Galactic main was, but yeah, you'll kind of do runs. You'll fight all the bugs until you die, and then you'll respawn and have to do it all over again. Sounds like a fun time if you really like Deep Rock Galactic. Hopefully, I don't know if there's going to be multiplayer involved in this one, or if it's just a single player experience for those of you who want to, deep dive in Deep Rock Galactic by yourself. So should be a fun way to play in that universe solo. Last but not least, rumors are usually proven true on a long enough time scale, especially in the games industry. Lots of people have been speculating on what the developers of Kingdom Come Deliverance are working on now that their award-winning second one is already out in the world. Warhorse Studios has confirmed this week, I think it was kind of discussed in the last 2 months or so, that they could be working on a Lord of the Rings game, and they've officially confirmed it this week. So They're doing an open world RPG, hopefully very Kingdom Come Deliverance like. We don't know any more details than that, like when it'll be set, what era, if it's Rings of Power time, is it the Second Age, is it Third Age, are we running around, with Frodo and Aragorn? So still remains to be seen, but exciting stuff for a new open world Lord of the Rings RPG coming from the award-winning developers of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. So could be very exciting stuff coming down the line for that. That's it for this week. Let me know if you feel I forgot anything down below in the comments. But as always, thanks for watching. I hope you have a super day. I hope you have a super weekend. And I hope you have a super day. Bye!